Good evening, guys, wherever you are watching from. This is Main Plug TV, and of course, I'm Samuel Silwa. Welcome to Political Arena. Today, we are discussing just about Raila's purported Kalonzo Musyoka endorsement. Of course, in the studio, I have my now fully fledged degree holder, School Evans. Evans, welcome once again to Main Plug TV.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Congratulations, Bwana.
I'm glad.
You just now joined the group of elites. How was the experience, Bwana? Tell us.
Nice, but not so much because someone like me, it was expected.
It was expected.
Yeah.
But we just have that feeling, you know, working for those whole years and
actually, I was very much glad because of my mother. I realized she valued that a lot. To me, it was something that I knew was going to come, and the efforts have always been focusing on PhD to be the professor and such kind of thing. So degree is a good thing, I appreciate, but it is the first step of many steps.
So you still have a long way to go. You want to achieve what your mother or your family never had, of course.
Yeah. The name scholar means academia.
Academia.
So my entire life I dedicated it to reading, exploring and having knowledge on different subjects.
Of course, once again, welcome to Main Plug TV, and I feel great, of course, having you on session. Today we are going to discuss about Raila's purported Kalonzo Musyoka's endorsement. Maybe before we just start, before we dig deep into the main topic, Raila's miss out in 2027 election. Will it shape the political structure or the politics of the elections that are coming?
Definitely, he is a big wig in our politics, and if he is missing in the equation, odds are likely to shift. Because we've been struggling to have number 3 in this country since Raila came in question. He's always among the 2 people. We always have a two-horse race in all competitions. We do have a 2-horse race. And since Raila joined in politics, he's always been one of the horses. So the big question is, if we remove him from the equation, who becomes the second horse? So that is the question mark.
And that is the question I would like to ask.
So for example, if we look at in 2027, definitely Ruto is a horse. If he's going to vie, if God gives him life and everything constant under ceteris paribus, we expect him to be in the race. So without Raila in the question, who becomes the second the second horse?
Who do you think now can be the second horse who will battle with William Samoei Ruto?
It's a difficult question. Oh, fine. We have different assumptions.
Of course.
Assumption 1, that all Kenya Kwanza bigwigs do not shift, because people do shift during elections.
Of course.
So we assume that Papa Aroma Wetangula will remain where he is, Madividi will remain where he is, and the Azimio team also, the Azimio brigade also remain where they are. So we ask ourselves, who is number 2 in Azimio in terms of politics? So we have Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka. But Martha Karua did not bring much from Kikuyu. In this country, from the central, in this country, we are still doing politics of male and female. We have areas where people still look down upon women. And one of those areas is in Luo Nyanza. That is why we only have one governor and a few female MPs. And Wanga's victory was something because Wanga did a lot of calculations. And we have other areas where women are not still accepted. So that takes Martha Karua out of the equation. So we remain with one person.
But I think we have just been having this campaign of gender equality everywhere, and as at now, it's like Kenya, we are embracing it. So when you say Martha Karua is not fit for the position, how do you mean?
No, let's clarify that. I did not say that Martha Karua is not fitting for that position. I said large part of Kenya are still not ready for female presidents, even female candidates.
Of course, we are living in
number 2, that issue of gender equality is always a complex issue to talk about. So that, why is it that we try to give women some lucrative opportunities like leadership? How many women are bricklayers? How many women work in electricity? How many women work in dangerous places? So, I am of the opinion that we should give the most deserving position. I'm not sure if Martha Karua is deserving. And if she's competent enough, she should not be kicked out because she's a woman. But that does not mean that she should be supported because she's a woman. It is a very contemptuous issue to discuss about the gender issue. So my opinion is, when someone is competent, regardless of their gender, they should be given opportunity because they will bring good services to everyone.
So do you think Martha Karua is competent?
Yeah. I have always. Actually, I voted for Raila Odinga Coalition because of Martha Karua. Sometimes in large setups, you look at someone who is in top. Martha Karua is known for, she's not one of the politicians who is not corrupt, who is very difficult and straightforward individuals. If you have politicians such as those, it's Martha Karua. Because I was imagining Ruto and Gachagua at the top, they cannot fight corruption because that data has always been in their clocks. So Martha Karua was coming like, people knew that Martha Karua was tough. You give that lady number 2 and Raila number 1, many people are going to be shaken in different offices. It is that force and that fear that drives away things like corruption. But if you are 100% sure maybe that someone who is leading you is corrupt, you are likely to cause corruption. So I've always believed in Martha Karua. I've loved the woman.
And that one brings me to the second question, whereby in 2022 we saw Martha Karua was the running mate to Raila Odinga. So this purported endorsement that was done by Raila Odinga during the 80th birthday of Oburu Odinga, his brother, to some people it brought a lot of confusion because most of them were saying, especially those from the central Kenya, were saying that Martha Karua was the running mate in 2022. Why is it that Raila now is giving Kalonzo Musyoka an upper hand?
Yeah, fine. These are the things that you consider when you are choosing someone in that position. Now this is now inside politics. We have people who can lead very well, but that is different from winning elections. So Martha Karua only worked with Raila closely in 2022 like the deputy, but Kalonzo has been very loyal. Many Luos love Kalonzo because he sides with Baba and he normally deliver. 80% of Kambas listen to him. He has been one of the longest politicians. Actually, if you didn't know, in 70s or 80s, actually the current people who are serving today, Kalonzo is one of the oldest in the house. So he knows much about politics. And he has always been supporting Raila Odinga and delivering very well. So, many Luos, even after 2022, after they realized that Raila did not make it, they said that we will vote for Kalonzo. Let Kalonzo now vie, just to give back hand. Martha Karua have not done much that we should be saying that we now want to give her hand. Kalonzo was with us in 2013, 2017, and even in 2022.
But do you see when Martha Karua maybe misses out of the equation, will this affect the Mount Kenya stronghold, putting in mind that during the last election, most of the central part of Kenya supported willingly Raila Odinga because of Martha Karua?
We always have substitute. So you can change Martha Karua with Kalonzo in another position. So it is not kicking out Martha Karua. And if she feels offended, because when you want votes, you don't kick anyone out, even single vote.
Of course.
So if she will feel uncomfortable with that equation, we will replace her after she leaves.
But we will lose they will lose the central Kenya vote. Of course, they will lose the support from central Kenya because most of them we are playing a political tribal politics whereby in Kenya for any part of the country to support you, they have to see their own at the top.
Now, good. Now let's look at it this way. If you look at the votes that Azimio got, you take the Kamba votes vis-a-vis the Mount Kenya votes. So we assume it is Martha Karua that gave us Mount Kenya votes And it is Kalonzo Musyoka that gave us Kamba votes.
Kamba votes.
And you are Raila, and you want to support someone to win. So who contributed much? Because now, if you deny Kalonzo the presidential position, the purported presidential seat, you lose Kamba votes.
Kamba votes.
And you remain with Gema votes. So which votes will you sacrifice? Martha Karua gave us less, so you sacrifice less and go for more.
But the arithmetics might be different in 2027. Maybe they will now come out to support maybe Martha Karua willingly, because Ruto has been in government, Gachagua has been in government, so maybe the weaknesses have been seen by the Mount Kenya people. Yes,
odds normally shift, but we shift with those odds. But currently, if we have to analyze those things, we analyze them with the standing odds as per now. Though we give that is why we say that these are hypotheses. In politics, odds normally shift. The second thing, you ask other votes which are not Kamba and are not from Mount Kenya. Who are you likely to support? Because Raila has got influence in Luo, you ask Luos. Luos will tell you, we better go with Kalonzo. The reason is, he has been standing with us. He's a loyal man. You get that?
Yes.
Kambas have been with us. Kalonzo delivered. So many Luos are likely to go with Kalonzo. And even many Kambas are likely to go with one of their own because they've been cooperating with us.
So this debate has been there during last week, whereby Raila Odinga was like endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka, and of course many people have felt like this is a premature endorsement. So to you, this might reflect what will come, the outcome of those who will be the flag bearers of Azimio la Umoja in 2027.
No, I'm certain that Raila will be the flag bearer. He's going for the 6th time. I'm certain about that.
Of course, most of the
one of the reasons why I'm certain about that is that many politicians always hang on Raila's coat,
of course,
to win the elections.
Of course.
Those people will tell him that, go, we are going to fund you, we are going to do everything for you, and you are still young. And if you see the vigor and tenacity that Raila is still participating on in these elections, tells you a lot that he's still a man who is eyeing something which is big. What can he eye for?
So maybe going for the 6th stab as Raila Odinga. Kalonzo is also eyeing the same seat, and of course he's also going old. So do you think Kalonzo will support, if Raila decides to maybe to vie for presidency for the 60th time in 2027, will Kalonzo of course support him again?
Yeah, and this is what happens. It is always the people. You see that the wave is not favoring you. When a big dog is in the race, you'll just feel that, let's support this person so that I also get something, other than going there and losing. Even in 2022, after 2017, Kalonzo said that I've supported you enough. 2022 is my term. And I'm going for presidency. He insisted almost to the 11th hour.
Yes.
He also said that he's going for the presidency.
I remember he said he will be one of the most foolish people if he supports Raila.
Yes, but when a push came to a shove, he decided to join the coalition and cooperated and delivered. So those are politicians. If Raila is going to vie, Raila is a cult, man. Many people are still going to support him. And actually we don't support Raila because he's an individual. He resembles, actually let me tell you this today, Raila resembles the struggle. Raila stands for democracy. Raila stands for common mwananchi and the people, that persevering spirit. So anytime his name is there, we just don't look at him like he's also a presidential aspirant. We look at him like history, perseverance. He knows where we are going to, and there is a reason why he is persisting to change people's lives. So that thing combined, that is why Raila's diehard are always so much emotional and ready to do everything for him.
But to you, does this will Raila have it again? Because in 2022 this was the only opportunity maybe Raila could have now clinched the seat very clear. But going to 2027 now, he's facing William Samoei Ruto, who was out of the government, and he just came in and from nowhere got to be the president of Kenya, but now in 2027 he'll be within the system. Do you think it will be possible for Raila to win it again?
Yeah, I've seen actually during my lifetime, I've been so curious with my environment, but I've seen very unimaginable things happen in politics. They said that there is no deputy president who rose to power directly.
Yes.
William Ruto did that. He has never lost any elections. So people have been breaking history.
Yes.
So many people have tried, they've failed many times, but they've emerged winners. In politics, odds change. Odds changes very fast. And I've seen people take out incumbent presidents. Even in Africa nowadays, it is happening rampantly. And one of the reasons why I can say that Raila is likely to win is tough economics. Everyone is crying. When everyone is crying, they can vote for anyone except whoever was in that chair. So many people are likely to vote for Raila, not that they love him, but to punish who is there. 4 years is still long enough, and it is 4 years for suffering. There is nothing Ruto can do to make people feel better.
But of course, we have just been talking about like in Kenya, the system is the one that decides who will be the president. Is not the will of the people is not reflected.
Yeah, there is that argument. I'm not quite sure if that is the case, because if we say that the will of the people is not reflected, it means that all presidents have been rigging elections, which is a very dangerous and heavy claim to make.
Yes, of course.
So others may be rig and others may be win. And we cannot substantiate that. What we can say is that sometimes, Raila had system, by the way, Uhuru Kenyatta and Matiang'i. Or what do you define by system? That is the system, in my understanding.
Yeah.
But Raila lost. Ruto did not have system. Or maybe someone can be outside and have system. You get that?
Yes.
Yeah, because systems are individuals, as far as I'm concerned. So if you are the highest bidder, you are likely to gain the support of the system. If at all that is what Ruto did. So even Raila, even Kalonzo, or even anyone who is outside, if you can reach the price of the system, when whoever is inside the government is still sleeping, you can have the system when you are outside the government. So actually it is not obvious to rule out that Ruto will be. Those things are complex. Odds shift. When Uhuru stood with Raila, I thought that they were going to
win.
Yes.
And everyone was anticipating that it was going to be a clear win.
Because of the state.
Yes.
But I lost that. From there I learned one thing in politics, odds change very fast. And even that system, someone from outside can get system because systems are individuals. One of the crucial part of the system that is likely to work out is the IBC. Those things or those are individuals. Every individual have got its price. And they are not mandated to work with someone who is in the system.
But do you think like this Raila may be going for this time? Is it going to make Kenyans lose trust in him, or see Raila as a person with self-interest because there are other people he might support and of course win, like Kalonzo Musyoka? Maybe Raila attempting for the 60th time will make him of course now maybe lose the trust of Kenyans.
Yeah, that is true. Other people are likely to view it as if he's persisting, but others may view it that he want to bring some change. There is something that he understands because he have been in the game and people still love him. So it is a coin. You can look it from tail or head depending on your allegiance.
Of course, then there have been disagreements within Azimio la Umoja after just Raila said that Kalonzo has been a man who has stood with him for so many times. So most of the Azimio leaders have been giving out sentiments, and among them is Oparanya from Kakamega County, who has just said that maybe that purported endorsement by Raila Odinga was premature because there are other politicians, other leaders from, let's say, from Western Kenya, like Oparanya, Eugene Wamalwa, who are also eyeing for the same seat in come 2027. So could these disagreements maybe bring Azimio to an end to some extent?
If I were Raila, I would have done the same. You evoke some discussion. Whether you want to kill him or nurture him depends on you. How you now calculate the narrative. Sometimes if you want to measure man's weight, you try to throw him to the public. You poke holes in someone, or you poke some public credits to someone. Then discussion emerges. That discussion can kill you. Maybe he just want to kill Kalonzo because Kalonzo always said that this time is me.
Yes.
I'm going for the seat. Yes. So to kill Kalonzo is very simple. You do what Raila did.
But
you purport to endorse him, but you talk to people like Oparanya, like they speak very closely, and Oparanya really loves Raila. So I'm going to say this way, but say the other thing.
But Oparanya and Eugene Wamalwa, they come from Western Kenya, whereby Raila enjoys big support. Of course, when you see somebody like Oparanya talking like that, do you think when Oparanya talks like that, and to some extent maybe come to a conclusion that we are going to leave this Azimio la Umoja because our own is not at the top? So this will affect of course Raila Odinga, maybe for him going to vie in 2027 or endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka, they are going to lose the Western region support they have been enjoying for so
No, they are
years.
not going to lose support. What I think is going to happen, this is how you look at these things. So if what happens if Raila endorses Oparanya or Eugene Wamalwa, it will be a big joke. We know people who are in the National League and people who can be taken seriously. Even Kalonzo himself is just number 2 in that list. It is only Raila who has the international figure in politics that can be accepted in Coast, Central, Rift Valley, and people love him because of high connections. Other people are likely not to support Kalonzo.
But he can mentor him, he can mentor him, and of course establish a good foundation outside during maybe campaigns, or maybe visits towards different parts of the
Fine,
country.
he can mentor all of them then, if that is the case. But we have elections to win. We don't want to mentor someone. Even God helps those people who help themselves. When it is almost raining like now, you want something that you can run with very fast. Because Ruto is no joke. The time that you want to mentor these people and the people already are having negative attitudes toward a certain candidate, that this is a joke. You can try to sell him, you earn him 1 million more. But that is not enough because we want 8 or 9 or 10. So that is why.
I'm looking at a different perspective, because Raila has enjoyed during the 2020 election, had a good support from the Central Kenya and of course from the Western Kenya. And looking at these two figures, there are the ones that at some point determine who will win the election in Kenya. So the moment he loses the Mount Kenya vote, Mount Kenya support, the moment he loses the Western Kenya support, the Western region support, it will be hard for him to now maybe clinch the seat, maybe for the 6th time. So he has to consultate these two figures. Now consultating these two figures, he has to put together this Martha Karua, of course, and this Oparanya and Eugene Wamalwa. So between Eugene Wamalwa, Oparanya and Martha Karua, so and now you bring in Kalonzo Musyoka, is it going to work well with Raila Odinga when he says he's going to endorse Kalonzo Musyoka, of which he's now leaving the big support outside?
Good question. That one is a good question. Very good question. Now this is the answer. You lose Kalonzo Musyoka, you lose Kamba votes.
But Kampas are just a small portion of Kenya,
Yes, but they follow who?
Kalonzo.
Last time, we lost Mudavadi and Wetangula. Those were the big wigs in Luhya, but we got some Luhya votes.
But maybe that one was one of the factors that made Raila.
Yes, definitely.
You see.
And you cannot have all of them.
Of course.
So, you better sacrifice any other lawyer and you mentor other lawyers. Even a lawyer MP, Raila can endorse and give position. and you win some lawyer votes. Because lawyers do not have a stable kingpin.
Of course.
Not even a stable, they don't have a kingpin. Now there, you can get votes. They don't have. But Kambas, listen to one guy, the watermelon guy. Now let us go to Mount Kenya. You rent them. Even Ruto is still working on his rent with them. You give them money, they support you. They don't rely much on the kingpin. Like Uhuru Kenyatta was the de facto kingpin in the last election. But they did not listen to him. Why? Because Ruto rented Kikuyus. You cannot buy them completely. You rent them during that period and they stand with you.
So what if Raila Odinga decides now to sacrifice campus on behalf of lawyers and the Central Kenya people?
The only mistake that Raila did is that he did not rent Kikuyus. So this is how you can play that game. You stand with Kalonzo. You can endorse Kalonzo to get that minority but Kamba, because it's a sure deal. You'll get 90 or 80%. He normally get 80% if it is Raila Odinga. Even last time Kalonzo was not deputy, but we got 80% of Kambas. Now what you need to do, you endorse Kalonzo, you get 100% of the Kamba, but you invest a lot of money in Mount Kenya. You rent them. You take all the young tasks, you give them money and they mobilize for you ground. Those people with money are the same thing. You get the Mount Kenya. But lawyers do not have kingpin. So any lawyer who can be in your basket, you invest in them also, you work with them, then you are going to divide. You get the votes. How about you ignore Kalonzo? He lives with his 100% to the next camp. Then, definitely, lawyers, they don't have a kingpin, so they are likely to divide. Then Gema now, even if you are going to stick with Martha Karua, no.
You know, they say that maybe he's not preferring Martha Karua because he never galvanized maybe the Central Kenya votes.
No.
So now that one brings me to the next questions about the resentments that have been witnessing from the camp leaders like Danny Manso and like MPs and senators from the Kamba region. There is a purported endorsement of Kalonzo Musyoka's, that one that will reflect maybe at the 2027 maybe flag bearer of Azimio, and most of them have been urging that Central Kenya and Rift Valley have been in position of presidency for a long time, and now this is the right time for other communities now to jump in and of course now have their portion. Do you think that that is right according to the campus? Maybe according to you, let's not say according, because to campus it's right.
Yeah, it's a fair thing, but it is not in the constitution. Yeah, it's fair. It looks fair, like other tribes. Like we have almost 50 tribes.
Of course.
So when Kamba will get for the first time, they would want that candidate to be the president again and again and again. They'll forget that we have the Taitas. They'll forget that we have like Ogiek, Ndorobo, and other small minority tribes. So people normally use narratives if it is in their favor, which is also a wrong view of things. When something is favoring you, you tend to use it. Now, in our constitution, whoever wins. That is why Kikuyus and Kalenjins have been dominating, because like they have numbers. They were far ahead before us. The Moi factor and the Kenyatta factor. And Kikuyus have very many. So what happens is that those people who are advantaged are likely to win. If you have numbers and money, you are likely to win. So Kambas, like any other minority, even Luos, they feel that way. But now it is not in the constitution. It's a good thing to hear, but it is not right that they must be. Because I'm sure even if they get the president, they'll insist that they want to retain it. They'll now not consider the tribes. Dan Manzo and the co cannot sit down and say that we want it for one term so that it becomes rotational.
And that's what they exactly say.
Actually,
it needs to be rotational.
Then they need to fix the constitution because they are the lawmakers, if that can work. Because actually Dan Manzo knows that if Kalonzo becomes the president, maybe his son or himself, Dan Manzo, can be the president. They are likely to benefit in their region. They are going to get money and they are going to get power. And They are going to be in the dinner table where it is served. And from there, anyone can get it from the surrounding. So they want that thing near to them. Or now let them now say that fine, they are the fourth people in terms of population. So we can say that Kikuyus have dominated with Kalenjins. Now let us go to lawyers. They are number 2 in terms of population. Or let us go to Luos before we come to Kampa.
To Kampas. So
why are they jumping in on that? So
now let's jump to another question about this purported endorsement has also have also made it very, very difficult for some of the ODM leaders from the Nyanza region who normally enjoy support from Raila Odinga. Most of them are saying that they are going mostly maybe to urge Raila Odinga to go for the 6th time because they want to ride on his fame to clinch the seats. Maybe maybe if Raila misses out in 2027, could it be will it be easy for them to clinch their seats, bearing in mind that Raila has been the one endorsing most of the leaders?
It is going to be tough on them. Foundation on which you are built determines how far you go. When the foundation is shaken, you are likely to get shaken. Most of them actually ride on Raila things. So when Raila is not in the equation, the electorates are likely to look at them differently.
So is it going to change maybe the Nyanza region politics?
Yeah. If he's not there, it's
basically, who do you think maybe could be at a better position maybe to now galvanize the Nyanza region votes?
That takes us to the kingpin, the discussion that is going on. And I'm afraid we are not going to find one very soon. Like, I've been involved in the top discussions of that thing. We have people like Opio and I, my guy, of course, and Babu Owino, and we have Gladys Wanga, we have Otinda Molo, we have this guy from Mbadi.
John Mbadi.
Yeah, so we have this discussion begins from South Nyanza and Central Nyanza, number 1. But we're South, they are seeing that you've dominated for too long. It is our time. That is the discussion. Other people also want Babu Owino, which age and vocality does not favor. You don't become kingpin when you are young. So it's difficult because other people do not match the charisma to take that position. So we don't know who will galvanize Luos. But they are organized community, they'll find one who they'll follow.
So of course, we have just finished our discussion, but away from that one, today I was listening to one of the radio stations, and they were cracking a joke about Gachagua. Like Gachagua was saying that these colonizers that came and of course introduced family planning is now he's regretting of why he has only 2 children. Do you think that is fine for a leader like that one, saying that he needs to, is like he's encouraging to have many children as you can?
Yeah, I've always been in the opinion of supporting many children. If you have many children, the probability of having a genius when you have 8 children is higher. So we want many people because many people comes with diverse talents. I've always been in the point of supporting many children. That has always been my view, because maybe if our parents were likely to do family planning, maybe perhaps me and you will not be there. Yeah.
Of course, I would like to take this opportunity and of course thank you for making your time and having a session with me here on Mainplug TV. I'm always grateful for you, my guy, for always making it. Like you just have to turn up for the interview. Maybe one word, and of course tell our viewers to subscribe to our channel and continue getting updates from us.
What I can tell you is that one way or the other, politics affects you. Whether you like it or not, it affects your life. When oil prices are high, you are likely to feel the pain. So you better tune in, subscribe, and always be part of the discussion. This is where content is.
Of course, thank you, my good viewers, and of course, this is Mainplug TV. Make sure you follow, subscribe, as you have just been told. I'm Samuel Silwa. Till the next time, I'm Samuel Silwa. Goodbye.